Hi, everybody. Looks like we're off to a big start. We got 6 people watching already. I have nobody co-hosting, so this could be short unless I get some participation in the chat telling me what you guys want to talk about. We're having a decent day here. It's -2 Celsius and pretty windy out there. And I'm checking. It's so windy the birds aren't even flying out there today. So it's not a great day for me to be drone flying. That's for sure. As you know, I don't generally fly in the winter. So we're waiting for May to come around. I got a message this morning from the motorcycle group. They're saying 12 degrees on Wednesday, maybe a coffee run. So we'll have to see if that takes place or not. I'll have to dig the motorcycle out of the back of the garage. And if it is indeed 12 degrees and the motorcycle's out, then the drone will go in the saddlebag and we'll see if we can get that thing up in the air. But that remains to be seen. We'll have to see what the weather does. But anyway, thanks everybody for stopping in. We'll just have to see how this goes. We've got 5 watching now, so somebody's dropped out. They're dropping off the stream faster than I'm dropping subscribers. I noticed this morning I dropped another one, so now I'm 23 short of 1,000, which I hit last February. So 13 months later, I'm down 23. But if you get a chance, hit that like button and share and subscribe this. I forgot to put the show likes and dislikes on, but in any case, if you get a chance to hit that like button, there's no extra charge. I'll let it go. Not a good day to fly Max Air. Max Air is in Michigan, right? Am I right? Fail safe. Oh boy, you lost your drone on the Chase Bank roof. Oh man, that's tough. GoPro's still up there. Oh, in New York. Okay. In the city, in New York City, or off with Chuck in Syracuse with. Well, there's a lot of drone flyers in Syracuse. I know Centroid, Mark is in Syracuse. The other guy in Syracuse. Yeah, and Chuck. Yeah. Oh, man, names are escaping me today. That's old age creeping up, I suppose. But Mike Roche. Mike Roche is in Syracuse. That's right. But yeah. So, well, six watching again. There we go. So we're getting there. I'm just going to go in here and see how we can edit this And go back here and there. Save that. Okay. Did that change anything? Anybody else able to see the likes and dislikes now? Hang on. StreamYard, view on YouTube, on live. And Furball Kim has joined us. Hi, Furball. That was some entertaining stuff this morning on Canadian Drone Hub, seeing Furball Kim in his tutu and and some of the antics they were doing in the early days on Canadian Drone Hub. Roger's going to be taking a bit of a break starting next week. He'll be on Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, and then occasionally on the weekend. If you're jonesing for somebody to talk to on Tuesday and Thursday, I'm always here at noon, so we'll fill in the gap if if you need somebody to talk to on Roger's days off. Um, you know. Oh yeah, the tutu. Yep. And those were the days. And I think there was a lemon challenge for bone marrow and another cause that they were doing. So they were taking up some causes in the early days, and that was kind of nice. It was tutus for tatas, wasn't it? Breast cancer awareness. No, we're not talking about the DJI FPV, Andy. We talked about that on Tuesday. There was nobody here, so we talked about it on Tuesday. I think I maxed out at about 6 viewers on Tuesday. Everybody and his brother was talking about the DJI FPV Tuesday. I came on 3 hours after it was dropped. And I think everybody was watching all the reviews everywhere else rather than coming here. But that's that was an unfortunate choice of the day to be on. It was everybody was on about the DJI FPV drone. So no, we're not getting it. We're not going to talk about it, even though that's all I've talked about since you said don't talk about it. So, invitations went out. Andy, you got an invitation too. I think Roger did. Kim, I didn't have your email to send you an invitation, but if you fire me an email, I will reply with the link to the stream. I'm just checking my email there. Oh yeah, it says I'm live. There you go. And my gas. So now I've lost the chat. Where did that go? Go back here. Dingo. Okay, Andy's at work. Yes, we're going to be seeing some crash videos. Now you see what you've got me done, Andy, is you've got me talking about nothing but the DJI FPV drone, which is highly panned by our friend Ken Heron. He didn't like that at all. Working at the print on. Oh, okay. Oh, did you get a 3D printer, Kim? So I think maybe Kim is working on a printer. Yeah. Yeah. Thanks, Andy. So you're leaving anyway, so we can talk about the DJI FPV drone. So we've got 8 people watching and nothing to talk about. Uh, okay. Tim Jackson bought him an Ender 3 V2. Yeah, you have a good day too, Andy. Thanks so much for the entertainment you send our way. Some amazing stuff you're doing over there. Some of the animation stuff and the Ken parodies, or Ken Heron parodies, are really good. Anyway, and the other thing I'd like to do is congratulate Roger and Kim for 3 years of putting up with us and entertaining us. Hopefully, once this pandemic stuff is over and we can all get vaccinated, we can make that trip to L'Avenir, Quebec, and have a weekend of fellowship there. It would really be good to be able to meet people in person. It's going to take a little bit to get back to being social again. We've been isolated for so long that it's gonna take a little bit of adjustment to be able to get within a hockey stick length of somebody, without fear of catching something deadly. I've just put up like, share, and subscribe. If you have friends who might be interested in seeing the stream, share it with them. Hit the like button. That always helps. Boosts my presence here. And subscribe. Like I said before, I'm 23 away now from 1,000 subscribers, and rapidly heading down to 500. So I'll be hitting the milestones going backwards this time. So Oh, FPV, Kim. You know what? I'd probably enjoy it, but I have difficulty even watching it on YouTube. It turns my stomach upside down. There's a vertigo aspect to it that I just don't know that I could handle. And I'm more of a camera drone guy. 40 minutes of flight tends to get me 3 minutes of watchable video. I leave way more stuff on the cutting room floor than I should. I flew once, not FPV. I flew with goggles with Paul Hodges. He let me fly his not his Inspire, his Phantom. I flew Paul's Phantom one time with goggles, and it wasn't dizzying, but it wasn't comfortable. It just wasn't my thing. I feel like I'm more in control when I can see the drone physically in front of me and see it on my iPad. I use an iPad, so I've got a good view of what the camera is seeing on the iPad, and I use that to kind of guide me. Whether or not I could do it in goggles, I don't know. I'm just not there yet. But we'll see at some point. And it's an investment, and I'm still flying the original Mavic Air. But the thing has paid for itself. But there's other things in the budget. I'm looking at maybe another car, and I have 2 cars in the yard that neither of them has air conditioning. So if I'm going to use anything but the motorcycle in the summer, I'm going to need air conditioning. The Jeep has air, the Subaru doesn't and the Toyota doesn't. So the Subaru and the Toyota have both become sort of 3-season cars. The summer, not so much, you know. And Thomas Ariels, Mr. O'Sullivan, has joined us. Thank you, Thomas, for coming in. Thomas does not appear on live streams, but we'll keep talking to him, and maybe someday he'll want to join. And Andy from Elsmeg has left. He's gone back to work. It's 20 after 5 in the UK now. So he must be working a later afternoon shift or something like that. But make sure you check out everybody else in the chat. Check out everybody else's channel. Make sure you're caught up on what they've been posting. Everybody can use the watch time, whether you're monetized or not. It's certainly encouraging to know that people are watching. That's an important part of what we do. You wouldn't post it if nobody was watching. I posted one the other day to try and promote the channel through shorts. And it got only 17 views, but it wasn't anything at all drone related. The last two uploads that weren't live were both non-drone related. I did one on the Purple Heart project, which is a project by Rob Cosman. I would ask that you might want to check that out. It's a charitable cause that helps wounded veterans. They teach them hand tool woodworking as therapy to get over PTSD and other war injuries. The quiet woodworking is what we call quite soothing. And I worked on a project the other day, and I was going to bring it along for today's stream, but I left it in the basement. But maybe we'll talk about that one on Tuesday when I get it closer to completion. The Cosman thing, and then I did the short one was just me hand planing a piece of 160-year-old cedar. It was 15 seconds of just a little bit of music and me running a hand plane. It was almost like one of those ASMR things, where it's just nice and calm and just a different thing to see, Until I get proper camera setup, I don't think I'll be doing anything in the shop woodworking wise. I find if I get down there, and I was doing a project the other day, and when I was all done, I thought, yeah, this would have been a good video. But by the time I was done, it was all over. There was nothing to show of the process. So I think maybe what I could do is repeat the project and film it, edit it, and put it up and try and bring that 3-hour project down to a 5 or 10 minute video just to show you the steps in something creative. I was downstairs and I found a piece of wood and I thought, this is exactly what I need for this project. And it was just a plaque for a wall, but was something quite close to my heart, and I wanted to get it done, and did, and a little bit of it was a little bit whimsical, but nonetheless something that that was for me was heartwarming. A lot of people, a lot of other people outside of my family group wouldn't understand it. As soon as I got it partially finished, I sent it to a family member that I rarely speak to in Western Canada, my cousin Dave, and he got a real kick out of it. It was sort of a family tribute piece, but we'll get into that on Tuesday. In the meantime, without a guest, and I don't mean to bore everybody with my ranting and droning on, I might just call this a short stream at a half hour instead of doing an hour. It's kind of difficult to fill the time alone. Anybody in the chat want to make a comment about anything you'd like for me to discuss? By all means, drop it in the chat there, and I'll be happy to talk to you about just about anything that suits you. Right now at the feeder, there's what is that? Looks like maybe a barn swallow. We've had a lot of Blue Jays and Cardinals. The Cardinals are beautiful, and you get them in the right light, and they're almost fluorescent. I have a small Canadian flag out there that I use as almost like a windsock, and everybody knows how bright the Canadian flag is, but the flag pales in comparison to the bright red of the Northern Cardinals that we get here in the yard. But yeah, Thomas is more interested, but yes, it keeps us wondering there, Mr. O'Sullivan. And Rigor Mortis FPV, thank you for hopping in. Oh, we got 10 watching now. Well, that's as big as that's more than we had on Tuesday. I keep checking the email to see if anybody else wants to check in, but I'm getting nowhere here. So, and I hate to stop with 10 people watching, but yeah, it certainly is a struggle when you're all alone. So, I think what we're going to do is, as we are coming up to a half hour, I'm going to call it a day, and please hit that like button if you've liked what you've seen. Not much to like, but I think we'll close this one out. I'd just like to remind everybody, yeah, everybody forgot about Tuesday. It was the whole DJI release that people were watching, and everybody was into that. Yes, Kim, and you be safe too. In closing, hold on. We're not ready to stop yet. Here's somebody who wants to talk to me. How are you doing there, Paul?
Hey, I'm doing pretty good. Can you hear me all right?
Yeah, can you hear me okay?
Yes.
Better than this.
I was over doing something else, and I said, I'm going to check Gary's channel. I see you sitting there by yourself, and I know how that feels. That's not a good feeling.
Well, it's difficult talking to the chat when they're not chatting too much,
Exactly.
Yeah, but no.
Well, what I want to know, Gary, did you order that new FPV?
No, I won't be.
I won't be either.
Definitely not.
What I find interesting, Gary, is all of the talking heads on YouTube are like going like this. I like it, but I don't like it. But I like it, but I don't like it. But I like it, but I don't like it.
I have a motion sickness problem.
Yeah.
When I have a hard time even watching FPV on YouTube.
Right.
I'm almost falling out of the chair. If I
Yes.
put my arms on the chair, I don't think I'd be able to make it. And
Right.
I can feel my stomach rolling over.
Yes. Yes.
And, sometimes I'll look away and just listen to the music
Right.
to give them a full view. But I don't know that I'd be able to do that. Now, I did fly Paul Hodge's Phantom once with goggles on,
Uh-huh.
and it didn't bother me because everything was stabilized. But I just didn't like not being able to see the drone, to be able to look up from the screen and see where the drone is in real space.
Yeah, I'm not big on this. Plus, the other thing is legally, as a 107 pilot, and even just a regular pilot in the United States, if you cannot do this, the goggles, without having a spotter. And I fly by myself.
Yeah. I watched Ken Herron yesterday, and he was flying, and he didn't like it. He didn't like it one bit.
Yeah.
But he had a visual observer, and he was the other guy's visual observer. They had two
Right.
FPVs, and he was telling the guy, "Okay, you're getting close to people. You better turn around."
Right. Right.
And the guy was saying he couldn't see where the people were.
No.
Because the FPV field it's wider than it is tall.
Yep.
So if there's something coming up underneath you,
and not taking anything away from the fact that it's made by DJI, it's pretty reliable, and also you've got all the different modes. You can fly it almost just like we fly our regular DJI cinematic drones.
Yeah.
But why would I want to spend that kind of money if I'm never going to go off the deep end over here?
Yeah.
Because I can't. And the idea of the goggles only,
Yeah. Well, Ken, in his video, he had a fairly hard landing, right? The drone came down, hit the ground, and then he was able to get it back in the air. And then he got a battery warning. And he got the thing back, and he could not turn the drone off.
Yes, I saw that.
The battery was bad on him, right? Now you're talking about $180 battery.
Yep.
So is it fragile? I don't know.
I don't think it's as fragile as these home built ones where they go out and fly for 15, 20 minutes, come back and spend 5 days fixing it. Then they go out and fly for another 15 minutes to a half hour and come back and fix it. Because that's part of they love doing that kind of thing.
Yeah.
They like to fix, they like to fly. They like to fix, I'm not a fixer, I'm a flyer.
No. That's like Harley Davidson.
Yep.
Right? Making motorcyclists into mechanics in 1905.
Yeah, and I'm sure there's some guys that like to fix, like to wrench, like to do that kind of stuff. And God love them, but I'm not one of those.
Well, I think somebody compared it to cars and motorcycles. We're comparing a car to a motorcycle, the camera drone being the car and the motorcycle being the thing that you fix. I thought of it more like the difference between a Tesla and a motorcycle.
Right.
You can put the Tesla in autopilot and just sit back and watch where you go, right? Because you could do a lot of that with your camera drone, whereas the other guy is fix it, ride it, lean into it, and I like my motorcycle, but when I gotta haul something home from Home Depot, I ain't bringing the bike.
No. And that's exactly the point. And God love all the people out there that are flying them and like them, kind of like them, don't like them, whatever it is. DJI is a smart company, and they know they've done research. There's probably a niche for that kind of a drone, and I would think in my mind, it's designed for the 25-year-old to 35-year-old that wants to fly and do some things. You know, it still wants to do some of the other things that true FPV does, and then from that point they can decide, you know, what they want to do.
You know what? They're not stupid. They, you know, they've jumped into this. They've done their research. My guess is they've probably sold out of this thing already.
Yes.
You know, or sold a shit ton of them.
Well, and they've got some retail outlets around the world, such as one of that, you know, some of the big like B&H and all those other companies. But Best Buy, you know, Best Buy has them for sale. So they got pallets of them in.
Yeah, but Best Buy here shows them sold out in all the stores.
Oh, okay. Now they're still available here.
Yeah, see, they were sold out yesterday.
Yeah.
You know, so
which is fine. I just checked Best Buy to see if they had them and if there was the same price or whatever. And it says, yeah, you can pick it up tomorrow. You know, it's like, oh, okay. No, I can't.
You know what I was impressed with though in Ken Harron's video is that it's telling you in the goggles that there's nearby aircraft.
Yes, I saw that.
I thought, oh, that's impressive.
And the other thing that was kind of nice, I thought it was silly at first, but the more I think about it, it puts a little icon around there as you're flying around, like your home. It moves around. So when it comes, just to kind of remind you where the hell you are, you know?
Yeah. No, that's and I think for an FPV pilot, you know, if you're working with goggles on, it's kind of nice to have a reminder where.
Yeah, and I've watched guys that have like been out in the field or whatever in FPV, and they got to try and figure out, okay, now where's home? Because you know, it's all grass, and it's like they're doing this type of thing, you know.
Well, you know, I've been in that situation with the Mavic. You know, not okay, hold on. Where am I? Which way do I have to turn to come back? Now you can, if you go down and you look at the little map down in the corner, you know, then you can find it, right? You know, it'll tell you, okay, turn this way, and okay, there it is there.
Yeah.
You know, you like to maintain visual line of sight, but sometimes when you're watching what you're filming, you're not eyes on the drone.
Yeah.
You know,
well, and that would be helpful too. You know, when I get called out for search and rescue operations, Southeast Michigan, you know, if I do get a call and I go, Mia likes to go, and she sits up there in the front in her chair. But you know, I'm flying strange places, and it's like I gotta depend on that map, the arrow saying which way is home or whatever, because I'm flying over woods and other things, and so. But for the most part, you've seen my videos. I fly the same ship route and everything. I know exactly where I am. You know.
No, and you know what? You're in a situation too where you're out over water. You know where you are. You know there's no wires. There's no trees.
Right.
As long as you're maintaining altitude, you're right, and you can still see the ship, and you're not going to hit it.
Right.
You know, you're in pretty safe space. Yep. I was flying with Hodges one day, and he said, "Can you see your drone?" And I said, "No." He said, "Well, then you're beyond visual line of sight."
Yes, exactly.
And I turned it around and I said, "Look on the screen. I can see where I am. If I can see where I am, it is within line of sight."
Yeah.
It's that these failing old eyes and the bifocals can't.
Well, you know, and that's the other thing that I scratch my head, because legally, we're supposed to be able to look up in the sky and see it without any aided, without binoculars, without any kind of a aided visual way to see your drone.
Yep.
And yet they talk about 6 kilometers, 7 kilometers with those little tiny drones. And I'm thinking, you're not seeing that thing in 7. Because even the little strobes that I have Velcro that I can stick on mine, are only good for 3 nautical miles.
Yeah.
You know, you go further than that.
Now, what I've done too is you know, you get it out and you're over there, and I've got a white Mavic Air, and I'm out over there, and if I'm fairly low, the sky is white too, right?
Right, exactly, or clouds.
But you know what I find helps? Just go up and down.
Yeah, so you get a visual movement.
You
Yeah.
get a visual movement in the sky. If you're sitting still, I mean, you can see a bird from a fairly long way away because he's moving.
Right.
If you can get motion into it, that certainly helps.
Yeah. And another question I get from a lot of people since I fly so much, especially out down the water, they want to know, have you ever had problems with birds? And I have had. One day I was out flying, and I was over the water, and I was with the big Inspire, and I was sitting there at about 50 feet over the water, and I was looking across over at Sarnia.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden in the distance along the water, I see this little flapping, and it's getting bigger, bigger, bigger. And it was a flock of Canadian geese headed right at me. And they got towards me, and the one flared at the last minute like this in front of my camera, and you could count the feathers on his underbelly.
Wow.
And that was, and I knew that because it happened so fast, I knew they went by.
Yeah.
Because I'm watching, the screen, because I use a tablet. But when I went and looked at the video afterwards, it was like a oh my God moment.
Yeah.
Because you could stop it, and look at it.
Yeah.
And,
I had a bird strike once, and actually in that intro video, there's I'm orbiting a monument that has a Union Jack on top.
Sure.
And as I was doing that orbit, I got hit from behind by a pigeon, and the drone. It just kind of fluttered and went down about 20 feet and recovered itself. So, I guess I was lucky it wasn't a bigger bird.
Yeah.
But yeah, he hit the drone. I got it back down. There was no damage to the thing. There was a slight scuff on the white, and you just
Yeah. Well, on my Inspire, I used to fly, the props on the Inspire are about like this.
Oh, yeah.
And I used to fly with carbon fiber. And I stopped. I took them off. I've got a box full of them that go to the Inspire. Because I got to thinking, if I'm flying out where there's people around, kids, dogs, or whatever, if it was on the ground, spun up, and one of those kids or dog ran over towards it, it would cut their leg off.
Oh, yeah. It's like a giant knife, eh?
Yeah. So I took them off. I says, and it did fly better with them. It was more stable. There wasn't any flexing going on, and it increased my speed from being able to do about 40, 70. I could almost get 52 miles an hour with that.
Really? Wow.
Yes.
Wow.
But the liability in my mind said, no, you don't need to do that.
I see we've been joined by Mudball Creative, and Rigor Mortis is in the chat.
And Tomas had a point too about the new drone. He says, by the time you buy the drone, refresh care, and you need at least 5 extra batteries, you're looking at about $2,500. Yes.
Yeah. That's what somebody else was saying. Forget whose chat I was watching. Oh, it was those guys. Tom spent over $2,000.
Oh yeah. Well, AZ Drone that comes into Roger's channel all the time. He purchased it sight unseen, and he bought 2 years of the care refresh and extra parts and all, and he bought the hand wand and all that, and he had like $2,400 or $2,500 in it.
Yeah. Well, that's what Tom bought. He bought the little motion controller or whatever they call it, and the little the hand thing. He bought that and 2 years of care refresh, and I think the extra batteries, and he was up around $2,000. So,
right.
I didn't spend that, and I even with all 3 years of flying my Mavic, I haven't spent that. And I don't know, for commercial operation, I can't see a commercial application for that drone.
No, I think a lot of the guys are saying, and I get it. A lot of these guys have a lot of different drones for a lot of different purposes.
Mm.
And if you were going to go out and you wanted to dive a waterfall or something, fine. If you want to capture just that shot, or you want to do one of those swooping wings, the ones down a river or through a canyon, that probably be perfect for that. But in the most case scenario, I'm not doing that. When I want it pretty much level. When I'm doing a circle around a ship or going down the side of the ship, I don't want it like this, because then it just throws the whole image of that ship off.
Well, and in your videos, there's action, but there's a certain tranquility to it as well.
Yes. Yeah.
There's a relaxation thing is lost by FPV.
Right. And because FPV is high energy, no doubt about it. I mean, I sit there and watch some of these guys, and while I know that they're skilled at what they're doing, all this flipping and stuff like that, and it's like I got to sit back in my chair and go, whoa,
Yeah. Well, for me, if I was doing anything action, it would be on my motorcycle, and I would probably mount a GoPro on the handlebar. I've got a mount for my phone, and when the bike leans, so does the phone, right?
Right. Yeah.
That's as FPV as I'm going to get. With the phone, though, with it mounted on the handlebar, you get some jello. But if I was to use the Osmo, and mount that, then I would lose the lean, right?
Do they have a way to mount that on there? Or?
Oh, well, it's on the bottom. It's a 1/4-20, right?
Oh, okay.
Well, I take this.
But what I was wondering is there a setting in there to allow it to maybe do FPV, even though it's stabilized?
Yeah, there is. I think you can lock one axis.
Oh, okay.
And then it would give you the
lean. Yeah.
Give you the lean, and would probably take that vibration out that you get on the bike, right?
Right.
Although I drive a Yamaha, so it's not that much vibration compared to the Harley, which is a $12,000 vibrator.
Oh, no, Thomas, I do understand that you guys have a set regimen, and I'm not taking away your skill or whatever. It just isn't for me, and none of it's going to be for everybody.
No.
But yeah, it takes a certain skill level, and there's certain flips and things that you do, and dives and free dive down buildings, or even on a racetrack, a race setting. You guys going through gates and everything else, and I understand all that.
Yeah,
it's just that what we can't do as a community, and I'm talking about everybody that flies. We should never damn somebody else of what they want to do, as long as they're doing it legally and with the best of intentions, because then you get that divisiveness that when we first came in, like I've been flying for almost 8 years. And you get this divisiveness of manned aircraft that don't like drone flyers because we're not really pilots. And there was really a lot of pushback when the FAA classified us as actual UAV pilots.
Yeah.
And, that's just kind of, you just got to say, hey, this person likes to do this, God love them. This person likes to do that, God love them. This person likes to spend $250,000 to fly an aircraft, God love him too.
Yeah.
Well, so I'll have to kind of get along.
I think the fixed wing guys were a little upset with the drone pilots because they got lumped in for remote ID and stuff too.
Yeah.
And now all of a sudden all of those rules applied to them.
Right. Exactly. And especially. I know some that were really ticked off was like the tourism helicopters, like New York and major cities, where all of a sudden they had as much responsibility to watch out for a UAV in the area as the UAV pilots had to watch out for manned aircraft.
Yeah, we all have to respect each other.
Yes, exactly.
That's what we're saying is be kind, right?
Yeah.
Um, I think we all have to fly responsibly, whether we're FPV or camera drone. I think we all have to watch where we're going.
Yes. Yeah.
Anything you do wrong will hurt the hobby.
Right.
Right. And for some of us, it's not just a hobby. Some people are making a living doing this, right?
Yeah.
Jim Boyd does some stuff. Al Diaz, Time to Fly. Mel Koch from 400 AGL. He's had lots of commercial work, flying somebody else's drone even, right?
Sure. Yep.
I don't do much anymore. I've kind of priced myself out of the market because I want it to be a hobby, right? I hate taking direction from some nothing that's telling me I
don't know about you, Gary, but I'm retired for a reason.
Yes. Yeah. We don't need that kind of stress.
No. And when it stops being fun, even though I really love, the best part of flying to me is the flying. The hardest part for me is the editing afterwards.
Yeah.
I have a lot of people that'll say to me, oh, that's great. I bet you enjoy the hell out of it. I say, yeah, this portion I do. I said, the real work comes when I go back home and then I got to edit this.
Yeah.
And they laugh. But that, and I do it as part of the whole thing.
Yeah.
And,
sure. I enjoy the editing. I don't do all the color grading and all that stuff.
No, I don't either.
I just chop everything out that doesn't look smooth.
Yeah.
And only leave in the stuff that's interesting.
Yeah. And I adjust the speed a little bit and might adjust the brightness, and that's about it.
Yeah.
And add a little bit of music to it to make it fit, and it's out of there.
Well, you watch some videos and they're going towards something and they just seem to go on forever. And you think, when am I going to get there?
Yeah.
Just deliver me to the end point,
Yeah.
I leave 90% of what I shoot on the cutting room floor. It just doesn't ever get seen, and it's not because I'm a bad pilot. It's just because I only put in the good parts, right?
Yeah.
And it's funny what people find entertaining. I had more comments over the sewer plant when I was flying that lake. Everybody wanted more of the sewer plant. Well,
right.
How scenic is that?
Yeah.
And nature stuff seems to do well. Nothing does as well as the motorcycle stuff.
Yeah.
You got motorcycles in the shot, everybody flocks to it.
Yeah.
My biggest ones were not flying at all. Was when I was in Cuba. You do shots of the resort, and everybody who's been to that resort wants to see it again.
Locked in and want to see it. Yep.
Yeah. So
well, there's several different things you can do, and I enjoyed having a thermal camera. In fact, I'm waiting for delivery on a pair of Nafi thermals, supposed to be here today. Just because the thermal, not that I'm going to go out and do thermal jobs, but if I'm out looking for somebody's stray dog, cat, or whatever, the thermal really does work. Because I've had them before and they did work. And my problem is they sit over here and I feel guilty. It's like my children are not playing. So I pass them on to somebody else that'll love them, Yeah. And then about seller's remorse sets in about 3 weeks later. It's like, what the hell did you sell that for?
When we have corn in the field here, I'll take the drone up and go find the dog.
Yep.
Our dogs will wander off and you wonder where they are, and you take the drone up and if you line up at the end of the rows, you can kind of go down the rows and see them down the rows. But
WTF Mike, he got a really good deal on a Enterprise Duo.
Oh yeah.
And within about 3 weeks of him getting it, he got a call from his dad, says that there was a couple of calves that got out, and they're on like 3,500 acres.
Yeah.
And so it was snowing, and so he went up, and within 15, 20 minutes, he found him over in a gully down behind some bushes and whatever, and directed by cell phone his dad to go get him.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, great application,
Yes, yeah, exactly.
Work well. Now, I had somebody made a suggestion on one of the live streams, and I think I'm going to take them up on it. And that's shooting, not real estate, but shooting ships for sale.
Yeah.
Get hooked up with a marina.
Right.
And if somebody's got a ship for sale and they've got it's going up on a website somewhere.
Yep.
Nothing like seeing that ship underway.
That's right.
Yep. So we may approach some of the marinas on Lake Erie and say, if you've got somebody,
that's a great idea.
If you've got somebody selling a boat, here's a card. Give me a shot.
Right. Or even if you were to take and make a little card up like that and just stick one on everybody. If when you want to sell, let me know, or thinking about it.
Yeah.
We can pick a really great, spectacular day to go out and get some shots of your boat on the water in motion.
Yeah.
It will help you,
Yeah. Yeah. Stand on the end of the wharf and hand out your card.
Yeah.
That might be a way to go, So no, there's ways to make, like my drone paid for itself in real estate, and I haven't flown it in a year for real estate, but you got to quote your price without a quiver. You can't be cheap.
Yes. Yeah. Exactly.
I've never flown anything for under $100, and mostly over $3 and 500 if it's close to the airport.
Right. Yeah.
And when you've got a $1,300 drone, it doesn't take a lot of flights to pay for it.
No, it doesn't. It doesn't, and that kind of helps you because everybody says, "Oh, well, you spent." Well, my first Inspire 1 was $3,600 with one battery back when they first came out.
Yeah.
And now I've got an Inspire 2 sitting over here like an orphan on the dining room table. But, there's maintenance. If you want another battery, if you need another set of props or whatever, if you want to upgrade your camera, on the Inspire, it's got that quick connect, which I loved. You can put all different kinds of cameras on the darn thing. Mm-hmm. I bought a thermal imaging camera for that Inspire, Gary, that was $7,600.
Yeah.
But what was nice about it is I could take the visual off, I could take the zoom off, I could take the X5 camera off, all those kind of things, but it all adds up.
Yeah. Oh, for sure. For sure it does. I was at a point where the Mavic Air 2 came out, the Mini came out, all this other stuff came out. I had 2 of my batteries went bad, and it was, do I spend $160 on batteries for this drone?
Right.
Or do I spend $500 on a Mini or another $1,300 for? And I just said, you know what, this thing is doing everything I want it to do.
Yeah.
More battery.
I tell you what, I'm really impressed with. I had the Mavic Air 2, I had the Mavic Air, I pretty much worked my way around. The Mini 2 is so impressive. That's what I did the last video just of the river that I did yesterday, and boy, it with that OcuSync 2 and the stability and the ability to get all the shots you want. It's just incredible.
Yeah, no, it's it's great technology, that's for sure.
Yeah,
no question about it. And like I said, my drone is still doing what I bought it to do 3 years ago. So I'll live with it for a bit, and if something really great comes along, then I'll
Drone Shots has got an Inspire as well, and he says he's got about 4,000 with 6 batteries and 2 controllers.
Yeah. That's
now, I don't fly with anybody, so I didn't get the one with 2 controllers because I thought I can't teach Mia, my baby girl over there, to fly. So what do I need 2 controllers for?
Dogs are
But
just
if you've got somebody else that you can hand a controller to that is capable of flying or is capable of doing some great cinematic or photos, then fine. But
Yeah.
but still, yeah, all those things add up every time you change.
Dogs are stupid. They can't learn anything.
No, but they give you so much love. That's their place.
Yeah, we got 2 of them. One of them needs surgery, and she's gonna get it.
Yeah.
She's got a cancerous tumor that needs to be removed
That's,
again. So
yeah. My heart goes out to you because I've, over the years, for a while, I used to rescue Dalmatians.
Yeah.
And I used to get the older ones. They would ship them to me from all over the eastern United States.
Yeah.
And I'd give them a loving home. One time I had 6 of them. I had 6 of them around me, And one by one, I had to take them to the vet and put them down. Take them to the vet and put them down. Every time I'd have to take a box of Kleenex with me because I loved them.
Yeah, I know.
And, makes it hard, but yeah, hopefully your dog's going to get taken care of and all will be good.
Oh yeah, we'll make sure she's sure she's comfortable. That's for sure.
Yeah. Kim has gotten real impressed by the Mini 2 as well. He just got one, so.
Well, we're coming up to 1 o'clock, and so we're going to call it. Everybody's got to get back to work.
Yep. Gary, I'll let you say goodbye to everybody, and I'll say goodbye now. And thanks for having me on. I just saw you sitting there all by your lonesome. So
thanks for bailing me out.
I thought you and I could just shoot the bull for at least a half hour anyway.
Yeah. Oh no, it was great.
Everybody in the chat, have a good evening, and we'll see everybody again.
Okay. Thanks again, everybody, for dropping in. Thank you for the likes and for the subscribes and all that good stuff. I see we've got 11 likes and 7 people watching, so we're doing okay. We must be doing something right. Thanks so much to Paul for stopping by and bailing me out. Thanks to Roger and Kim for all their support over the years. And for bringing the whole community together, like I said before, times are tough. Do something kind for somebody today. Much appreciated by everybody. You don't have to be like me and carry a hockey stick and blow a whistle when you see somebody going the wrong way in the grocery store. But certainly, do what you can to be kind, and we'll see you again on Tuesday. Okay. Thanks again. You all have a great day. Bye.